So, Nathan Oakley is releasing a book later this year titled Welcome to Flat Earth. The thing is, he didn't really write it. You see, he has some friends called Quantum Eraser and the Adam Meakin, and the two of them, yeah, they've been writing the book, not him. Essentially, he has ghostwriters, and he's just putting his name to the book. So, my question is, well, if Quantum Eraser and the Adam Meakin are writing the book, why don't they release it under their name? I mean, they're doing all the work and all the legwork. It makes no sense, but if you'll see what happens in this video, you'll understand. Nathan's not really interested in Flat Earth, he's interested in selling things, being a salesman, as you'll hear in a moment when he's talking about his microphones. And you'll also hear how he actually came into Flat Earth. So, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Neil found out yesterday that flat earthing is secondary to my videography, which is my primary, what would you call it? Passion, let's just say. So Neil was saying, well, you know, you love microphones, don't you? And I'm like, no. He's like, but you're on videos talking about how fantastic a microphone is. I'm like, yeah, I'm selling that microphone. Of course it's fantastic, I'm selling it. He's like, so you don't love microphones? I'm like, no, they're a means to an end. I just need to pay the mortgage. And, you know, being censored as a YouTuber means that my ad revenues can drop significantly. Therefore, I've got to go on camera and say, this microphone's awesome. Please go and buy it on eBay. It doesn't mean I love microphones. But then I explained to Neil that when I was looking for a subject to cover on YouTube, I was looking at all sorts of different subjects. And what I wanted to cover on YouTube was an evergreen subject. Something that, come hell or high water, or censorship, I could still produce videos on the subject of. Flat Earth, when I came across it, was like, yeah, well, that's a good subject to specialise in. Completely evergreen, not oversaturated. I don't love Flat Earth because I put it second to videography. I can be perceived as loving microphones, when in reality I couldn't give a toss about microphones. So, you know, as long as they keep the roof over my head, you know, I'll tell you how wonderful a microphone I'm talking into in that minute is, because it's going on an ad to sell it. Like, I can't wait to stop selling microphones and start selling the book, because I can sincerely talk about how wonderful the book is. Whereas when I'm talking about microphones, it's just salesman talk. It's bull sales talk. I'll be the first to admit it. Do I love... what's the closest microphone to me? Do I love this biodynamic snare microphone that I made a video about this morning? I don't even own a snare drum! Neil, what do you want me to say? I need money. And I'd be putting my hand out or my cap in front of me, whatever metaphor you want to use. But this time I haven't. I'm like, no, I'm only losing ad revenue because I'm not dedicating the time to the Flat Earth videography that I would normally, because I'm writing a book and dealing with microphones to cover the fact that I'm not doing enough videography because I'm writing a book. Therefore, I know there's going to be a lack of revenue in that particular area. And the mics is just a means to an end, but it ultimately does mean that, you know, I'm doing less on the Flat Earth subject. But again, this is all going to come to a head. Eventually, I'll stop selling mics, just be selling the book. And speaking to Neil specifically here, I'll have every ounce of enthusiasm, genuine enthusiasm for a book I've written, Neil. So that passion will return with every ounce of a genuine enthusiasm that a product that is literally got my freaking name on it. None of these mics have got my name on it, by the way, Neil, unlike the book. So I want to get into that. I want to be selling that, not mics. So in yesterday's show, I was trying to fondle around the idea of there being a high bar for any future authors, let's call them, plural, to try and achieve a higher standard than the book that's not even released yet. And I said it would take 100 years. The foundation of the book is mine, but the nuance, the detail has come from other people around me. Not just in the sense that there's been 10 years of Flat Earth YouTubing on this channel, more that the book, especially the final editing processes, have had all of the citations and the polish put on the book that's been, you know, given a structure and a foundation, or however you want to metaphor it out with, by me and what Flat Earth debate is. Now, I can only describe this vaguely because Brian, in his honesty, has put it in a succinct way, because he was describing how he was jealous. He's like, I'm jealous that you've had this process whereby you can have the attention of QE and Adam to put their polish on top of material that you've developed over the last 10 years. Because Brian was basically explaining, or not apologising as such, but sort of justifying why he has these little jabs where he's like, oh, you got your ghostwriters then, when they're doing what they're doing. Adam and QE are doing what they're doing now. It's like, no, they're not my ghostwriters. How dare you? But he divulged, he's like, well, I'm just jealous that the level of help that you're getting and the refinement of the book and what it will result in as a consequence of having that refined help. I'm jealous of that. It would be nice if I had that. I haven't. You have, for what you've done and what you've built. So I'm like, it's nice to hear that. Because, you know, his jabs and snipes. And Neil jumps on that bandwagon from time to time as well, because he knows he gets a laugh. But, you know, I've put my heart and soul into producing a book and sat through a process of refinement that I could have just put an end to at any moment. If I wanted to publish it tomorrow, I could. Well, what's Adam going to do to stop me? It's mine. Now, I'm very grateful that they've helped and they've put their refinement into the book, and they'll even get a mention in it. But the point is that I want to be selling the book as it is, as it will be described. The highest of refinement, the highest of standard, the highest of bar, the highest of quality, the best quality citations and references. Every word has been pored over and scrutinised. How the book flows, which is beautiful. Well, all of this gets explained in a much more coherent and flowing way, thanks to the editing process and Adam and Quantum Eraser. All of that comes to a head in each and every chapter, so that the reader, unless they lack comprehension, will understand. So therefore you can only draw one conclusion, given the refinement that's been put into Welcome to Flat Earth, the ultimate Flat Earth reference book. And that is that it will not and cannot be surpassed in terms of its quality. It's not like 100 years will pass and, oh, well, this 100 years didn't yield the fruit of a better book than Welcome to Flat Earth by Nathan Oakley. That will never happen. This book will never be surpassed. There's a good reason if you feel the need to get worried as a bull believer or anti-flat earther about this book. There's a reason. Yeah? It's because it is so refined that even before it's created, it's emanating its power before it even truly exists. So know this. Welcome to Flat Earth, the ultimate reference book by Nathan Oakley, will never be surpassed in quality. But undermining a ball and proving Earth is unequivocally measured, navigated, flown across, sailed upon, charted, built on, flat. Because it is. And the book points that out in a way that everybody can understand it.
There you have it. Nathan just wanted an evergreen subject to talk about. That was it. An evergreen subject. He found Flat Earth, and he basically just wants to utilise that to pay his bills. He thought it would be a win-win for him, but he didn't realise that, yes, YouTube does censor you, especially if you're talking about things that are blatantly wrong. But he's already gone so far down the rabbit hole with this and followed the crumbs to his destination now that he's decided to release the book. And there's no going back for him. He will forever be associated with Flat Earth. So, the die is cast. He is where he is now. I wonder whether the book will do as well as he thinks it will.